Hey, what's up streamers, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will be reviewing the Aquarium Co-op Easy Root Tab. And one of the reasons for doing this review is because I really like Echinodorus plants. And Echinodorus plants are very heavy feeders, heavy root feeders, and they require a lot of nutrients taken from the soil. And over here we can actually see that I have actually two pots of Echinodorus iguazu. They are very suitable for aquarium and also very suitable for the streams. And one of the reasons is because they do not propagate like runners or stolons. They actually propagate through, when they flower, there's actually inflorescence, and then there will be small little plantlets at the end of it. One of the things is that Echinodorus are all rosettes, so they do not actually have a lot of big growth or undesirable growth like stem plants. And you can see that some of my tanks over here as well, they are all the iguazu. I really like the iguazu, and that's the reason why I keep them quite a bit. And there's a lot of other Echinodorus as well. I have another iguazu over here and another Echinodorus over here as well. And I'm also trying to keep propagate the iguazu from here. So coming back to the review, I think the very first question is this stream safe? No. So what I did is that I actually read through the content. It actually has mineralized topsoil, red clay, magnesium nitrate, with an NPK of about 2.5, 1.6, and 10. And there's a phosphate, potassium, zinc, iron, and manganese. So I think these are all of the contents actually found in active soil as well. Especially when you have high PO4 like phosphate, there's a lot of algae growth and things like that. So in terms of suitability, is this suitable for the aquarium? I know this has been reviewed many times in terms of from a fish keeping, from a plant perspective. However, for Caridinas, I think this will be the first review that has ever been done online. And you can actually see that there are actually two bottles, one with 20 taps, and then there is actually a much bigger one over here that has let's see, 60 taps. It actually has 60 taps over here. And over here, when we open up, it actually, what does it contain? It actually contains like little capsules, like this over here. And one of the things is that I have used a lot of other brand root tabs before, and this one, when it goes into the soil, the gel, this gel on the outer covering, it actually starts to dissolve and then go into the soil. So the content, all the content, the iron, whatever, is actually in this capsule itself. So this gel thing is actually just to encapsulate the contents in the in the pill form. So in order for us to actually put this into the soil effectively, actually we can use actually a tweezer and things like that. However, this thing actually does float up. This capsule actually does float up, because once there's water that goes in, it actually start to dissolve and then start to float up from the soil, and if it's not pushed down deep enough. So one of the things is that what I've done is that which you can also consider doing is you can actually come up with this like contraption. This is just like a normal medicine type of a syringe, or you can use any plastic syringe. And what you do is that at the end of the hole, you kind of like open it up much bigger, and what you do is that you take this, and before you actually put it in, there's other tips. Like for example, you can actually punch holes over here. You punch hole over here so that the water goes directly into it while you insert it. And what you do is that you take this after you punch the hole, and you put this side in, which is the inner cap, at the bottom of it. So when we put this directly, and you just insert this all the way down to the bottom of the pot or the substrate, and then you just give a little push, you kind of like push it out, and then it will go deep inside the pot. So then it will not actually float up, and it will not be on the surface, which I have done and tried quite a number of pots. Some of them actually float up, and some, you know, actually remain. But using this actually helps a lot, because then I was able to actually go all the way deep into the pot to insert this capsule in. So what does this capsule what does it look like inside? So I actually open up one of this and to take a look what it entails. It's like a little dust, a brown dust type of powder, and I'm sure it contains whatever that is written over here on the bottle, which is like the manganese, the potassium, all the NPKs, all the nutrients. And then I tested to see what it looks like if I mix it in RO water. So I actually took RO water, which is I think is around 4. Right now it's about 4 TDS, and then after I put it in and stir, it actually turned to about 120, 130 TDS, which means that it is dissolvable in some of the content is dissolvable in water, it's liquid. So which also means that if you're gonna input the root tap into the pot over here in the tank, then definitely it will rise the TDS. But how much will it rise? I did a test over here. Just gonna turn this around. I did on this tank over here with a root tap deep inside. You can actually see this is another iguazu that I'm trying to save. It actually raised about 10 TDS in terms of the root tap. So after I put a root tap, it increases about 10 TDS. So this one increased 10 TDS as well. So what I did is that I did a water change for both after a few days, and I brought down the TDS. So is there any adverse impact in terms of the streams? The streams are all looking fine. They are all looking well. So in terms of suitability of the aquarium co-op root tap, I think there is no problem. And as you can see, as I show you more of my tanks, you can see that this is the iguazu that I have, another iguazu, and this is another Echinodorus, I think it's X-Flame or something, and these are the Rubins. So I have a lot of Echinodorus which I really like in terms of the growth and the rosette, and being able to contain them in the pot as well. So some of the powder, so what I did is that I actually sprinkled the powder on top of one of the pots and, you know, see what will happen. So basically it's just like a powder, like any of the fertilizers, so it does not actually harm the streams at all. So over here you can see that more and more, you know, Echinodorus that I really like, especially the iguazu. You can tell by now I have a lot of pots of iguazu and I really like them, and they grow fairly slowly. They are very food hungry, and of course all of these tanks do not have CO2. So all these stream tanks do not have CO2, and I just use the normal, you know, the normal plants and aquarium light. And of course the aquarium light over here I use a Chihiros. All of them are using Chihiros. And one of the things for this, you know, aquarium co-op root tap is that it comes in 2 sizes. I have mentioned one is 60 taps and one is 20 tap. So for stream breeders, you know, who actually want to keep plants, you can actually use the root tap for plants like Echinodorus. You can even use it for other plants like creeps and things like that. However, I would not recommend putting a lot of root tap in there, and the reason is because it will increase your TDS significantly, and you are not very sure, you know, what will actually happen if, let's say, you are trying to adjust the TDS based on what is actually required for stream breeding. So you can actually see that some of these plants has been with me for many years, some 3-4 years. None of them are in CO2, so they do not grow very large. If they do grow very large, I actually trim them down, or sometimes when they grow overgrown, when they start to overgrow, then they will grow out of the water, which I will then trim off their leaves or the surface leaves so that they do not grow out of the tank. So once they start growing out of the tank, all the leaves will start to grow out of the tank. So I think so far we are very satisfied with the aquarium co-op. So you can actually also use it on stem plants. However, I understand that stem plants usually take most of the nutrients from the water column. However, you can also put them into stem plants. So I think that's all for this video. I would strongly recommend the aquarium co-op root tap because they are safe to use, and I've used them for all my Caridina tanks, and they are fairly easy to use. So as long as you have this contraption that you can actually do it by yourself, and then everything else will be fine. So thank you guys for watching this video, and if you like this video, please remember to give a thumbs up, and for those who are new, please remember to subscribe, and until next time, peace out.